President, can you tell us, sir, Donald Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner and blames you directly. What's your response to that, sir?
Huh. Browser do you use?
I use a couple. I use Chrome and Firefox and...
Pull up Chrome.
Yeah, I got Chrome up.
Pull up Chrome. Click in that fucking search bar. There's nothing in it, right?
No.
It's on the normal Google fucking starting page.
Yeah.
Type in Trump. What's the first thing that comes up?
Charles S. Trump.
Why is a senator from West Virginia coming up instead of the president of the United States? Donald Trump doesn't come up. He's fourth on that list.
Hold on. All right. Now I got audio. All right.
Or third. He's third on that fucking list.
So
Charles S. Trump, Trump debate, and then Donald Trump, the 45th president of the United States. What?
yeah, Charles S. Trump. That's weird. I didn't know there was another.
What the I didn't know there was another Trump either.
Did he make them?
Did he make this guy? I don't
Yeah.
know. He might have nutted in somebody.
I mean,
I'm sure he's got some bastards running around.
yeah. I mean, sure.
Ah, no way. He's about the same age. Good God, look at that man's eyes. That poor bastard's fucking
Oh, yeah.
cocking out like a motherfucker.
Oh shit. Here's West Virginia.
Yeah.
Somebody got to represent them.
That's fucking bonkers, though. What?
Yeah, dude.
Why would that be the first thing?
I don't know, man.
You're telling me that guy is more searched than Donald Trump? Get fucked. Ain't no
Yeah,
fucking way.
I don't know, man. We just got the. Hey, this is just fucking. I'm sad, but not for Trump. It's just
Okay.
he's a big boy.
Yeah. Got an entire team of lawyers. He can handle
I'm sad.
this.
Yeah, he's a big boy. I'm sad for the precedent that they have just set by doing this. This is it goes right to what we've been saying and what people have been saying all over the news, that the Democrats would burn this country a cinder just to rule over the ashes, because that's what they're doing. They're setting themselves up in the future for failure as well. They're opening the floodgates to... It's Pandora's box.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The thing is, people don't want to believe that. People don't... And really, I mean, the common person would have trouble seeing that correlation, that they can do this to a former president of the United States and a multimillionaire, property developer, very famous man. They can do it to him. They can do it to anybody. Why would they do it to me? Why? There's no reason for them to do it to me.
Because, and that's the thing.
If they needed to,
And
they
that's
could.
the thing. If they needed to, they will. And that's the thing. It's already happening to other people. The common person may forget that we still have people in jail from January 6th.
Yeah. Serving lengthy prison sentences.
Serving pre-trial. Like they haven't been tried yet. They've been in jail this entire time.
Yeah.
In a direct violation of the Eighth Amendment rights, and
No bond set.
no bond set or anything like that. For a trespassing charge, which is one of the lowest misdemeanors out there, no matter what state you're in.
Yeah.
Maybe interrupting an official proceeding, that kind of stuff.
That's the thing. Did they even try that? Because
that's the thing, because they can't,
on a federal level,
because they can't charge with insurrection because one didn't take place. An insurrection didn't take place. They want to keep calling it an attack. It's not an attack. It's a riot.
yeah, they charge nobody with treason.
It's not treasonous. It's a public building.
But you do an open insurrection against the government of the United States. That's treason.
Right. So this is not only was I wouldn't say that the crowd is unarmed because I'm sure somebody had to been packing heat, but
nobody used it.
But nobody
except for the
firearms.
DCPD.
Yeah, DCPD shot that lady.
Yeah,
and that lady was breaking through the barrier. Unarmed, but he shot some lady. In the face.
No non-lethal.
Yeah, I mean,
we're required to carry non-lethal.
Right. It's
I'm just saying.
No escalation of force, no use of force continuum. You know, and all that stuff.
Multiple people. That guy was the only suit on that fucking floor.
That's the only. He's the only one that saw it fit to use deadly force. So, so there's that. He's back on the payroll like he was.
Oh, he never left the payroll.
He never left. You know, he was.
He might have been suspended because of like policy, but.
Oh yeah,
he never stopped drawing a paycheck.
They did a cockamamie investigation, but I mean, but that family's still minus one person, and it's I don't know. This whole thing has been it's been cockeyed from the get go. You know.
It's funny to see a lot of these news reports. It really depends on where the report's coming from, because a report from Newsweek is completely different from the one from Fox News, which is completely different from the one from MSNBC.
Right. Right. So a lot of them. So a lot of them are looking into they're looking into different aspects of the case, and point is that if you're not familiar, first off, welcome to the podcast. You know, I forgot the intro.
Did we not do the intro?
Yeah, because I'm just like, I wouldn't say overwhelmed, but I'm just kind of like, what the shit? Mainly because, you know, but whatever. You know, I'm Hesco, that's James, you know, the ateasecast. It's just because we keep moving ever closer to a shooting conflict, you know, inside the continental United States, and that's the last thing I want for this country. And politicians on both sides, they keep talking like they don't have a skin in the game. You know, Ilhan Omar's over there freaking tooting her horn.
Mm-hmm.
AOC
begging for money just like any other.
AOC's over there like, yeah, freaking, you know, if it happened and all this other stuff. You know, there's all kinds of these crazy politicians that are ecstatic that this is happening, but they fail to realize that if this thing goes kinetic, they die.
Well, I mean,
you know,
they can run, they can hide. I mean, they got plenty of money to protect themselves.
They're in somebody's list. You know what I mean?
They got plenty of money for protection.
No, they don't. That's the thing. It's you know, they can get seriously hurt. They have a skin in the game. They have no idea when they should be trying to unify the people, and it's just not to mention that they tried this guy on 34 counts of apparently freaking falsification of business documents for that hush money that he paid to Stormy Daniels. That the statute of limitations on that charge was expired.
Yeah.
Alvin Bragg hired certain people to dig into it and see if they can convert it into a felony somehow. They did, but they never explained the reason. So apparently, you know, the falsification of business documents is fine, but as long as you're not trying to do it in the commission of a fraud or something like that, you know, in the commission of a greater crime, then that enhances it into a felony. According to New York, what they've said is a New York statute. I haven't read the statute, but that's what I've read. And they haven't really explained what that other crime was going to be.
Yeah.
Or was. So I'm not entirely understanding what the conviction was about. Like what he was convicted, yeah, okay, of falsifying, you know, business records and yada yada yada. Got it.
34 counts falsifying business records, and then I don't know how that turned into a felony.
But that was in 2017. Like, statute of limitations is over, which is why when they discovered the the mishap in the books, they brought it up to the election commission. The election commission didn't want nothing to do with it. The FBI didn't want nothing to do with it. Freaking several other agencies looked at this, and they didn't want nothing to do with it. And then Alvin Bragg took it upon himself. I don't know, man. I'll tell you one thing. Alvin Bragg became a millionaire pretty much overnight the moment he decided to take this case on.
So the judge.
The judge. Everybody made money.
Mm-hmm.
How is this kosher for anybody? How is this okay? It's in your face. Like it's obvious. It's clear as day. It's right in your face that they're doing this stuff on purpose and that they're doing this stuff fraudulently. They're taking money on the side from somebody. I mean, this kind of violations happened before. Nobody put Bill Clinton in jail for hush money over that other broad. Nobody freaking put Hillary Clinton in jail for the money that she utilized to pay for the evidence digging for the Steele dossier.
They didn't put Hillary in jail for a lot of things. A lot of things,
yeah. I mean, you can go all the way back to
her
freaking
using a private server for classified material.
Mm-hmm.
Violates the fucking, what is it called? The Secrets Act or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah,
I don't remember what the hell it's called. And then destroying it and destroying every cell phone and everything. So destruction of evidence times a lot.
Improper disposal of classified materials, dude. I mean, like she could very well like be in jail for a really long time if they
federal prison for the rest of her life.
But what they did is they got ahead of it and fined her, give her fines.
Yeah, so now she can't be tried for it because she's already been
double jeopardy. She's been adjudicated for that. So the double jeopardy kind of covers them on that. But the Democrats don't give a damn about double jeopardy when it comes to Republicans or conservatives. Yeah. Daniel Perry got into that issue over there in Austin where he turned on the wrong street, smack in the middle of a freaking BLM demonstration, was operating without permit, and that one guy freaking Gossett, or Garrett, whatever his name was, pointed a freaking rifle at him. He kills the guy. He ends up getting convicted for manslaughter, and he got pardoned. Well, now 14 states are they're talking to the Department of Justice to reopen this case and try and do what?
Right.
You know, the DA of the state, like the DA state, one of the DAs of the state of Maryland, is trying to get this thing reopened by the Department of Justice as a civil rights case. And do what? Try him again? He's been pardoned. You know, like I'm not understanding the evil behind it.
I think you're not understanding because you're not of this generation.
It just doesn't matter. It's just
and
little shit.
Well, the people that are advising these political types, like that DA is a politician.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a lawyer. He has a job to do. Like, met very few DAs that actually take their job seriously.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're elected into their positions. They're career lawyers, and they're supposed to prosecute felony crimes.
Right.
For whatever district they serve. Same thing with the county attorney. Misdemeanor crimes for whatever district they serve. So now, here's the thing. So these politicians, if they have the money for it, if they have the base for it, they will have advisors to advise them on their elections. Most people who do elections do have advisors of some kind. They pay quite a bit of money for these advisors. Some of these advisors are social media advisors, and like clout advisors, for lack of a better word. Those advisors are young. They're like in their 20s. Sometimes they're in their teens. They're like 18, 19 years old. Sometimes they're in like 25 or younger. But I mean, they're from the next generation. Mm-hmm. These kids know what sells online. For our generation, it was different things in different ways, like radio, television, stuff like that, advertisements in front of before movies at the theater, shit like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Nowadays, that's not what sells. That's not what gets people attention, especially through social media and through the internet. And these kids knows what those things are, and they advise on what those things are, and then the people that are running for office do those things. For example, that DA trying to try that kid again after he's been pardoned by the governor of Texas in a civil rights violation case from another state. It's a clout-seeking effort. What he's trying to do is gain attention. If he gains attention, he'll gain viewership on whatever the hell he has, whatever platform he has, and he could gain votes from it, and quite a few votes.
It's possible, but the thing is that from where he sits, he could get the same. My argument is that he can get the same clout by just doing his fucking job wherever he's from.
Probably not. I disagree.
Well, probably because he works the District of Baltimore,
Okay.
which has an enormous freaking crime issue.
Yeah.
So he could probably,
And it's a deep blue state.
he could probably make a decent dent into the crime down there if he just focuses on his job. But that's the thing. I don't think they are. I don't know, man. It's just
I think a lot of it's for clout, because for somebody like that, especially if they are politically career-minded, so they don't want to be lawyers anymore, they want to be politicians full-time. So they don't want to stick around as a DA where they have to prosecute crimes, they have to assign assistant DAs to whatever prosecutorial thing that comes up. They have to hire assistant DAs, they have to manage this, they have to manage that, they have to go speak to this, they have to go meet these people. So stuff like that as a DA, they don't want to do this shit anymore, so they want to get a higher office. Something like that, when it gets something like that kind of social media clout and recognition, could get them a higher office, like governor.
yeah.
Like something like that, like governor or senator or congressman or something like that. It could put them on the radar, whatever party they support. In his case, it would be the Democratic National Party. And then it'll get them into a higher and higher and higher office if that's their ambition. And I think that's probably what the case is for this guy in particular. That's his ambition, is to get a higher and higher office. He's already won an election for DA. He's already an attorney. So he has a couple of check marks in the boxes of what would make a good politician in pretty much anybody's eyes. So, I mean, he has the clout, he has the background, he has the resume. Now he needs the clout, the name recognition. The number one thing that will win you an election is your name recognition. Trump arguably won his first election. The first office he ever ran for, the first and only office he's ever ran for, is President of the United States, and he won the first time he ran for it. Arguably because of his name recognition.
Yeah, you got a point. It's just
Same thing with Ronald Reagan back in the day. He was a fucking actor. Everybody knew who the fuck he was.
you got
Arnold
a point.
Schwarzenegger in California, governor.
The governor.
He never ran for any other office. Name recognition.
He married to Kennedy too.
Yes, he did.
It's
And he still banged his maid.
yeah.
That much steroids, man.
Oh man,
It's
dude,
a lot of testosterone.
It's just that testosterone, man. but yeah, it's my thing is that I'm not sure where he's come from thinking that he could affect policy and affect freaking criminal cases
In another state.
Yeah. Like, I don't know where he's coming from with that. And there's other states, DAs that piggybacked off of his lead, and are urging the same thing. And I'm like, well, what is it to you? You know what I mean? Like, BLM has been proven already to be a...
The precedent for it, because the people that investigate civil rights violations, there's only one agency. The FBI.
The FBI, yeah.
And it goes federal.
It goes federal, yeah. I mean...
So for that kid to be pardoned in Texas, don't fucking matter. If the FBI picks it up as a civil rights violation and investigates it as such, it still has to go to trial and be litigated in front of a federal judge. Because when he was tried and convicted, what was he convicted of? Murder, right?
Oh, yeah, manslaughter, yeah.
The manslaughter. So he's trying to convict of the manslaughter, which was tried before a Texas judge. They're trying to get him tried again in front of a federal judge. That's what it is.
Which bypasses double jeopardy.
Exactly, because this is a completely separate crime.
Completely separate crime.
And that only thing I looked up was federal civil rights violations. Yeah, the only thing that came up was FBI.
Yeah.
The FBI is the one that fucking investigates them.
I don't know, man. It's just kind of like there's so much shit going on, and so much stuff that has like nothing to do. Biden put out a freaking statement on this after the decision was made.
Actually completed the sentence?
I didn't know.
No.
I mean, he didn't take any questions,
Of course not.
but they asked him as he was walking away, like, should he drop out of the race since he's going to jail and whatever. And Biden just turned towards the camera and gave him a smirk and walked off. That's all he did. And I'm like, that,
Classy.
yeah, he's a piece of shit.
He has been for a long time.
Always has been. Like,
This is not new. Yeah. Sorry, he gets voted for, though.
I mean,
Well, I mean,
he did.
he really didn't get voted for.
He didn't get voted in. He stole that election for sure.
Yeah.
Stole that election. And
I believe so. That's my personal belief. I think that election was
yeah, for
rigged.
sure. He stole that election. That's just the numbers just don't add up. So they stole that damn election. Not to mention they've been finding all these all the inconsistencies that we were talking about freaking back in that last election. They've been coming to light now.
Yeah.
I think one
Yeah,
of our
piece by piece, one by one.
yeah.
So you can't put enough together to say,
Yes,
especially
piecemeal,
before.
because the Republican bureaucrats are in cahoots as well. This is all, this is all pieces of the same pie. They're all operating under the same guys. They're just two different teams, but it's the same team. Because Republican lawmakers keep alluding towards things that they were gonna do, or what they could do, or and they never do it.
Right.
They just let it slip by and let it go by. They're lazy, I don't know, or in cahoots.
Then goes.
So,
I'd say most of the there are a few Democrats and a few Republicans that are still outside of what's taken over the government. A few.
All they do
And
is,
probably most of the Democrats are independents.
for the most part, all they do is act. They go to this theater building, and they have their acting. They act their scenes, and then when it's all over in the weekend, they go play softball together, and whatever. It's
Which
all-
is that technically is the definition of politicking.
it's theater. It's all theater.
They aren't actually enemies.
They're not. No, not at all. Which
Which in some respects is a good thing. That they're not at each other's throats.
but
I agree with the but. But in
there's-
some things they should
there's
be.
some things that, like, there's some politicians that don't stand for it,
When was the last duel?
but there's some politicians that
Have I looked this up before? Broderick Terry duel. The last notable American duel fought between U.S. Senator David C. Broderick of California and ex-Chief Justice David S. Terry of the Supreme Court of California. So two Californians in 1859 had a duel. Who fucking won?
So now Politico,
Terry won.
yeah. So now Politico, of course, goes like, there's a new dark money group supporting Trump. Man,
Dark money.
yeah, like,
What the fuck is that?
they keep talking to us like we don't have internet, man.
Dark money. Refers to political spending meant to influence the decision of a voter where the donor is not disclosed and the source of the money is unknown. So what George Soros has been doing for fucking 30 years?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly. It took what, 5 seconds? 15 seconds? It's like, dude, what are you doing, man? It's like, look, he's wearing a black shirt.
Mole shit.
He's wearing a black shirt. Yeah, so am I. You know what I mean? Like,
the fuck?
The fuck you yammering about?
Dark money's been, if that's the case, dark money's been used in all politics in the world since the beginning of politics.
Since forever. So, George Soros, I'll tell you what. George Soros, which is...
Probably more than 30 years. I just threw out a number.
George Soros has been paying super PACs by proxy for fucking decades, man. It's
yeah. Oh yeah.
There are people registered as donors in super PACs that are making donations daily that far exceed their yearly salaries.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what, come on, man. That's like you got some poor firefighter from wherever, and he's donating friggin' $7,000 every week to a super PAC. That's what they've been doing this entire time. So what are you guys yammering about? Like, the fix and the crookedness, all that bullshit's been done by everybody. So it's been done by everyone. Securing American Greatness, apparently, a 501c4 nonprofit. And they're talking about that, but the people raised $56 million in less than 24 hours for Donald Trump as soon as the verdict was read.
Mm-hmm. I've heard, yeah. That speaks volumes.
It went up to 64-something million in the period of 24 hours. And there was so many donations to Trump's campaign in that 24-hour period, it crashed the website. Look, I'm not understanding what these guys think they're doing, but you're turning this guy. You turned this guy into Nelson Mandela.
You're turning him into.
You turn him into a martyr. Turned him into a martyr.
All you got to do now is kill him.
You can't do anything to him but kill him now. How you gonna put him in jail? You gonna put his Secret Service in with him?
I just looked up the conviction that he got. What he got convicted of is in New York is called a Class E felony. We would most closely compare it to a state jail felony.
Right.
But it has different sentencing. So the minimum sentence for a Class E felony in New York is 1 year in jail. The minimum sentence.
Right.
So the maximum is 5 years. Now, here's the thing. Would they sentence him consecutively or concurrently? Or 34 years in fucking jail?
No, they're going to put him on house arrest so he don't freaking campaign.
Try to, yeah.
They're going to put him on house arrest so
he's not going to campaign from his house. He's going to have rallies in front of his damn house.
Yeah, he's going to pick up his house and then move it.
Yeah. And list every property he has around the United States as his personal residence.
Yeah.
Now he just campaigns at his hotels and shit.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not hard.
But that's the only thing they can do because
not check.
You got to put him in Rikers Island. You got to put him in Rikers
with his Secret Service.
He'll run Rikers, right? You know that, right?
In a heartbeat.
Do you put Donald Trump in Rikers? He's not. Yeah. Ain't nobody touching that man. You understand? Like, he'll go under. I will pardon everyone if I get elected. Done.
Yeah.
And what's that? Is that any wilder than what these guys are already been doing? Persecuting freaking people from Texas from freaking 1,300 miles away on crimes that got nothing to do with your population as people in your town are dying. They keep talking about gun violence and gun this and gun that, but...
the crime rate. Baltimore's one of the, top 5?
But they freaking hamstring their police, and then they freaking let these people freaking kill each other. Because as long as it's blacks killing blacks, then it's fine. You know what I mean? It's some of the craziest shit that I've ever seen, man. I didn't think I never thought in a million years we'd be at this point.
They were convicting a former president of the United States for some bullshit that happened years ago. Fucking something that another president has famously done because Clinton paid off his fucking hooker from Arkansas.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the hell her name was. I don't have internet. Paula Jones.
Paula Jones. Yeah. I was gonna say Paula Dean, and that's
That is a chef. Yeah.
That's the chef. I'm like, I have Paula Dean in my head.
Is she getting in trouble for saying some racist shit?
Yeah, she says something about like, oh, this is how niggers do it, and like when cooking with like butter or something. I don't know. Like she shouldn't have said that shit. That shit was fucking weird. So that shit made waves all the way in Puerto Rico, bro. Everybody back home was like, ¿Qué dijo qué? Yeah. Paul Dean said that stuff. Those freaking kitchens just stopped. Like, but yeah, that's what I had on my head, man. Paula Dean. I was like, no, that's not her.
Okay.
I was like, but yeah, this is bonkers, man. Like, I don't understand, man. So then, the ATF freaking made the news the other day as well, as they killed an airport executive in Arkansas.
That was like a month ago, wasn't it?
No, they killed him a month ago, but the hearings are just now hitting the hearings in Congress just now hitting the news because they're asking the director of the ATF a lot of hard-hitting questions.
What the fuck were you doing?
Like, what the fuck happened here? And and why is it taking so long to freaking figure out what the hell happened here? So, I mean, so the ATF, man. So for one, they've been in the news lately for a lot of things. One of them is like the pistol brace thing, the arm brace. They've been, by definition, making rulings, like rules and definitions of things on firearms and attachments that violate the Second Amendment, and not to mention that circumvent the legal process to make laws. So they're not elected officials. They can't make laws. They can't. I mean, they can lobby for certain things.
Just like anybody else can.
Just like anybody else. Like, I can lobby for something, whether it's heard or not. It's inconsequential. But they've been passing all these laws. But they've been passing all these rulings. But in any case, they went to enforce one of the federal laws, which is basically this guy who was a airport executive. Brian Malinowski. He's the executive director of the Bill and Hillary Clinton National Airport in Little Rock. So he was not a nobody.
Right.
As a matter of fact, he was like the second or third highest paid person in that state when it came to gross. But he had a hobby. He's a hobbyist gun owner, an enthusiast who's built guns and sold guns. But according to the ATF, they had a search warrant because he apparently sold gun. Some of his guns were discovered at the scene of crimes. They were not used as the instrument of a crime. But, like, let's say a DWI guy gets pulled over, there's a gun in the car, they run the gun, and because they register weapons over there, his name pops up, so as part of the chain of custody of ownership for that gun. Same thing for a couple other things, like, his gun got sold, he sold it to somebody, that person sold it to somebody else, and so undoubtedly that person gets arrested with dope in the car, now his gun is highlighted. So they were looking for, they were doing a search warrant for the property and apparently to see if he was actually selling guns for profit, which is a violation if you don't have an FFL.
I thought it depended on how many guns you sold in a year.
Correct. Well,
Okay.
it has to be for profit. Like, it has to be your business.
I got you.
So if
I sell you a gun at
if
cost.
you sell me a gun at cost, yeah, exactly. You're just replacing the money you spent on the gun in the first place. Like, you buy something for $300, sell it for me for $300.
There's no profit.
Profit there. But of course, that's oversimplified. There's a lot more layers to that, and they're with the background and stuff like that when it goes to person transfer of firearms. But the right way is to go through an FFL and do a transfer the right way, because then they can run the background on that gun and make sure you're not selling a gun to some fucking wacko. Yeah. But in any case, what are you gonna say?
I I'm waiting for you to finish on this guy.
So,
because
okay, so-
I'm holding something. I'm holding on to something.
So, okay, well, let's see. Maybe I'll hit it, maybe I don't.
Okay.
So they assembled about a week prior to the actual death, the actual execution of this man.
Okay.
Some about a week prior during the daylight hours. They have video of their massive motorcade freaking assembling, doing an ops brief. They were going to hit this house.
Right.
They find out through their recon that the guy wasn't home. Which is perfect if you're just doing a search warrant, because now
True
you don't
enough.
have an antagonist in the middle of your investigation.
That, and you can catch the guy in the middle of wherever the hell he is if you have eyes
Yeah,
on the guy.
yeah,
and he doesn't
yeah.
have access to his stuff.
Yeah, he's not in his playground.
Right.
So yeah, it's the best time to do it, especially if you got a search warrant.
Right.
Because you don't have an antagonist messing with your fucking investigation. Now, you don't have to dedicate assets to securing a person until the damn thing. You don't have the possible ramifications of an unlawful restraintment or detention from a person for an unreasonable amount of time, because you have to put cuffs on this guy. You have to isolate him. You have to get him away from the scene. And then you got to justify the doing of that.
Right.
And if your search warrant turns out to be a big nothing burger, then you could be in a whole bunch of legal stuff that this guy could afford. So, anywho. The guy is not home. They canceled the fucking hit. Week later or so, they hit it at like, I don't know, old dark, whatever. He's at home with his wife, whatever. They come up, they cut power, cut freaking the telephone lines, whatever.
Uh-huh.
They basically isolate the house from the grid. They go and freaking black out the freaking ring doorbell camera and do a no-knock breach entry into this house.
Holy shit.
This guy he hears the breach happening. They apparently, according to this is hearsay now, it's not bound by any legalese, it's hearsay. They go in the house, the guy sees shapes with guns. He's armed now because he's in his house, thinks somebody's being a home invader.
Uh-huh.
He fires warning shots into the ground. One of them ricochets, hits one of the ATF agents. The ATF agents open fire, kill him, shot him in the head, dead. The female, his wife, who I don't think she was armed at the time, but she gives up. They cuff her, detain her, had her in the back of a freaking squad unit for I don't know how many hours,
Right.
and they cleared the scene. But I don't know if they were able to actually conduct a search warrant. But they had no charges on this man. No charges. No, not a single ATF agent's gone to jail over this.
Not yet. It's still kind of...
Well, not yet, but Texas Rangers would have had me under the jail last month. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like...
So they hit this guy like he's fucking Pablo Escobar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
One of the most prominent members of that state society who could have possibly... Who's not going anywhere.
Any
First
idea-
off, he's not flight risk.
well,
I mean-
he's wealthy as fuck. He's a fraud.
Yeah, but he's not going anywhere. It don't matter. He can't disappear.
I could agree with
He's
that.
not a guy that can disappear.
Okay.
You mean to tell me you can't bring this guy in?
Any idea what the nature of the search warrant was? What they were looking for?
So apparently they were looking for evidence to that charge that they were looking for evidence to see if they were going to charge his ass.
So the
with
guns,
something. So they had
the guns
they had
that
no
were,
crime.
the guns that were
They were looking
at one time in his name that had been sold had showed up on crime scenes.
Some of them had, but not as the instrument of crimes.
Just,
They had just been
present.
And minor crimes, mind you, like DWIs,
What?
traffic stops with weed, that kind of stuff. Traffic stops that yielded drugs, the PC search with drugs,
Okay.
that kind of stuff.
And they found
Like,
guns that he had
not-
sold previously.
The guns that he sold that were not used in the commission of
state
any
was this?
crimes. This is Arkansas.
Arkansas. Okay.
Yeah. Good old Clinton state. So, as a matter of fact, he's the guy that runs the airport.
Right,
That's their namesake.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
So what I've been holding on to
Mm-hmm.
for this entire conversation.
Right.
Have you ever heard of Operation Fast and Furious?
Of course. This way they sold those apparently tracked guns to the cartels. They made it all the way to freaking Mexico. They lost track of them, and some of them actually came back and got used against freaking Border Patrol agents.
Murdering
Yeah.
Border Patrol
Yeah.
agents.
Yeah, they killed Border Patrol agents. Obama did that. Yeah, and the director of the ATF, I think it's this dude too.
What's his name?
I forget who the director. I don't know if it's the same guy, but let me see. ATF. He's an idiot too. He don't know shit about guns either, which is hilarious. Stephen Dettelbach.
That's his fucking name?
Yeah.
Oh.
Stephen Dettelbach. Stephen Dettelbach don't know a fucking thing about guns, by the way.
Of course not. Those are political appointments.
Yeah, he probably knows a lot about alcohol.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But let's see how long.
Looks like it was a guy named Kenneth Melson when
Okay.
Operation Fast and Furious happened.
Okay, so it's Melson. All right. So yeah, this dude. So.
Allowed licensed firearms dealers to sell weapons to illegal straw buyers, hoping to track the guns to Mexican drug cartel leaders and arrest them. They lost track of the guns.
Yeah.
And then the guns made it back to the border in the hands of, what are they called? Fucking...
Murders.
Well, yeah, murders. Fuck. I'm looking for the Spanish words, but...
Asesinos.
Sure. Soldados.
Sicarios. Yeah.
Coyotes.
Yeah. Esquinas. Bunch of freaking low-life esquinas. A corner man.
Oh, okay.
Lookouts. You know, yeah, they made it into the hands of the right people.
Right.
Because that's what they were trying to do. And you know what's crazy? You know what's really crazy about that? There's probably like a whole mess of ATF agents. They knew this is exactly how that was going to go down, and nobody listened to them.
Yeah, so I was about to say, said something,
and everybody looked at them like they had a fucking dick on their forehead, and it was ignored. Kind of like
fucking told you.
Because we've been there. We've been there. As a matter of fact, yeah. Proof.
You're
right
fired.
Here. Proof. Yeah, right here. This guy. So yeah, they knew this was going to happen exactly how it played out. I was like, you know what's going to happen to them fucking guys? Julio's going to grab them things, and they're going to freaking start scrubbing freaking serial numbers, and we're going to lose track of these guns. They're going to forget them. They're going to end up right back over here freaking killing our citizens. Shut the fuck up, Johnson. You don't know shit about shit. I was like, oh, fuck, you know what, man? You talk too much, man. It's like, we don't like Johnson. I don't like Johnson. I don't like his ideas. I'm all right, fuck, fired. Mm-hmm. Or they got put in a freaking field office in Nome, Alaska, some bullshit. Fucking, like, go monitor tobacco up there. Freaking, yeah. And then this happened.
Yeah.
Who went to jail over that? Oh, fucking nobody, right?
Barely investigated.
Fucking nobody. That was Obama's. Biden was the fucking vice president. So, yeah. So there's that. You know, it's just nobody went to jail over that. Nobody suffered a freaking casualties over that.
The thing I hear the thing of like who's really running the country, and the popular opinion is Obama. And it's like Obama ain't running this shitty. Because I mean, the same question came up when Obama was fucking president. Who's really pulling his fucking strings? The fucking Clintons.
No.
It's more obvious.
The Clintons are part of the cabal of evil that's actually pushing.
That's a conspiracy theory. That's just a conspiracy theory.
I mean,
it's a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, I mean, what else? I mean, let's just say I'm not suicidal, so at all. So, but I mean, it's just. But this is it makes sense when I tie it into, you know, how they're running things and how shady this shit is, and the things that they're doing and what they've done to people that we know, and how little by little the, you know, social media has such a huge say in things, which is why it's scary when I get a ban from temporary ban from Facebook, and the reasons for that temporary ban are actual legal terms for actual criminal offenses. You go like, wait a minute, this is a fucking...
Fuck it, it worked in England. Why not here?
I said, this is a end user agreement licensing violation. You know what I mean? Like, right? You know what I mean? Like, what the, you know, like, you violated a community guideline, but why are you using, like, legitimately legal,
Actual statute text.
actual statute text.
Yeah.
Why? Because they're getting ready to
Yeah. Start charging you.
start
the
charging.
shit you put online.
Yeah, start charging you. Because that's what they're doing in Canada.
You know that the thing is that's going to
That they're doing
cause-
that in England already.
Yeah, that's what I say. I worked in England. Why not here?
Yeah.
But the thing about that is the backlash, the pullback, the rubber band effect.
Yeah, the snapback.
So the snapback to that is going to be going back to where the internet started. And the
They
thing
put
is,
you this way, before that happens,
the internet. Well, there are websites out there, and people consider them dark web. They are not dark web. They are open to anybody. All you got to do is know about them. Go to the website. You don't need any special browser or anything like that to get to them. Nothing. You don't need to be on tour. It's not illegal. You can go to the website anytime you want. I'm talking about websites like somethingawful.com and 4chan. Because that's where the internet, that's where a lot of this shit started. A lot of the memes that you see are created on those sites. A lot of the ideas that people have gotten to make other websites like Amazon came from something awful. Etsy came from something awful. A lot of these, Reddit came from 4chan.
4chan. It's the vanilla.
It's an image board.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reddit is highly, highly washed.
Yeah, it's a vanilla version of 4chan.
Yeah, 4chan is fucking out there. It's
all this
pretty
stuff,
raunchy.
all this stuff. It puts you how far back I go into this. This goes back to the Merc freaking servers, from which I may or may not still
I
travel.
go to
on.
4chan all the time.
But I'm
it's a
just saying-
great news source.
I'm just saying, like,
You got to sift through a bunch of shit.
the
But
thing is that before that happens, we gotta bury the dead. And when this thing is over, there will not be enough people.
I can't see something like that happening. Not with the way society is right now. There's no way. It doesn't matter what you do. You could put Trump on a crucifix in D.C.
I don't know.
And I don't think the people would fucking do anything about it. Because they got to go to work on Monday.
Yeah, you got a point, but
They got kids to feed. They got to go to work on Monday. They got taxes to pay, bills to pay, people to keep quiet. Fucking people got their lives to fucking live. They're not going to fucking risk everything for a billionaire politician.
it's already at risk. Is my argument.
I think it's already gone, which is
My-
why people have no motivation to do
My
anything.
argument is that it's already at risk if it's not already gone.
That's the thing. I think it's already gone. I think it's already too late. That's my opinion. I think it's already too late. Whatever this country is going to have in its future in the next 5 to 10 years,
We're
or
gonna
even
end up
50
like
years.
fucking Dennis Leary and fucking Demolition Man, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, no.
Fucking eating rat in the sewers because
I'm not
fucking
living in the sewers.
the surface is freaking full of freaking tickets for saying fuck
No, I'll just fuck up the surface.
and 3 seashells and bullshit.
I can't wait for the 3 seashells. That sounds a lot better than toilet paper. I have no idea how it works, though.
No, nobody does.
Well, there's a deleted
But-
scene from that movie that's supposed to explain how it works, but I don't think I've ever seen it, and I don't think it actually exists. It's just a rumor.
I think that's how we're gonna end up, bro. You end up in the sewers over there like
And the
Dennis
VR
Leary.
sex, I can't do the VR sex. I've tried. It's creepy as fuck.
Yeah, nah, that don't work.
It's great. Go to Pornhub on a VR headset. Nah, man, that just weirds me the fuck out. Can't do it.
That's because you're going on the wrong servers, bro.
It's Pornhub.
Yeah, with the fucking the tentacle porn on VR.
It's not tentacle.
No, not there.
Fucking face grabber.
You're like, yeah, no, fuck that. You know,
It was vanilla cheerleader shit.
watching horror porn and shit on VR. Again, I don't know. Fucking the Wrath of Cthulhu. Like, good God, what's happening? As this Nosferatu freaking dude, freaking, come on, bro. Like, that's what you're watching in fucking VR. Yeah,
It's not true. Don't put that shit out there.
Oh man, it's
It's
gonna
not
be,
true.
They're invented anyways. They're gonna invent it anyways. Like, the moment you go conservative, the next thing when they don't like you is they tell you to go away. If you don't go away, then they make you a sexual predator. It's
happened
the
before.
play. It's the play.
It's the one that works
every
time.
fucking time. It's the play. It happened to Cuomo. It happened to freaking many others before. It happened to Trump just now. It happened to freaking. It's happened to every single one of them. They don't like you. They tell you, look, man. They give you one amnesty. Get the fuck out of here. We don't like you. Shut the fuck up. You go like, hell no, we won't go. You can't silence me. Or like some freaking lady from 1970, God knows what, will come out. It's like, oh, he put his finger in my butthole. And then you're like, oh, shit. Who the fuck's that lady? And she's like, I
Doesn't
remember
matter.
you. It doesn't fucking matter
matter.
because they did a geolocate bullshit. And they said by probability standards with all the software that there's very possible that you would have run into this lady at some point during your travels in 1976. So, boom. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you went to college? Oh, that's a freaking steady 4 to 7 years, depending on what you were studying, where they can put this lady in the same piece of geography as you. So, look, man.
It works every time.
It works every time. This
a lot
is
of times
what they
the
do.
accusation is enough.
This is what they do. The accusation is usually enough for sensible folks because sensible folks just usually go like, oh, shoot, I'm out of here.
They wouldn't have accused him.
They try to do it to Clarence Thomas. They try to do it to freaking, although that stuff with Clarence Thomas is, there's some meat in that bone, but there's,
What was the other? There's another Supreme Court justice that they did that to recently.
yeah, Kavanaugh.
Yeah, Kavanaugh.
Yeah, so Brett Kavanaugh, they tried to do the same thing. Oh, he freaking had a calendar of raping chicks. So I was like, no, he was a freaking playboy in college, had a party calendar. Yeah, I mean, what do you think he was doing? He was living in the freaking dorms, with the frat. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody talks about freaking George Bush fucking a goat in his freaking Black Skulls freaking rituals that he did over there fucking whatever college that he didn't qualify for that he went to anyways. Freaking, yeah, nobody
Clinton,
talks
his
about
college
that.
days, I
Clinton,
can't
yeah,
imagine.
the fucking Skull and Bones motherfuckers that ended up working. Yeah, the Skull and Bones idiots over there fucking, what the hell is Skull and Bones? What
Yale,
college?
I think.
Yale. All the
I think
fuckers
it's
went to Yale, wherever the hell that organization's at, and they ended up working for different parties all of a sudden. They're enemies. Yeah, right. They're all in the same frat. They're frat brothers. All of them. All of them. You know who's not a frat brother of any of these freaking dumbasses? The guy they're freaking trying to throw in jail for 4 times how many freaking charges? 4 years times how many?
34.
You know? Yeah. That shit, dude.
I don't think he's done yet either. That's just the case in New York.
Yeah,
He's
but
got
I don't
another
think
one.
I don't think he can appeal till after sentencing.
Really? I thought you had to appeal before sentencing.
I don't think he can appeal. He's gag ordered too.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, bro.
That's ridiculous.
He can't defend himself. He can't do shit. Not only is he gag order, but a gag order has a blanket. Like people that immediately surround him can't talk about it either. So Eric Trump can't go up there and freaking campaign and talk shit on his behalf. Freaking his lawyers can't go up there and talk shit on his behalf. Freaking people in his inner circle can't come out of pocket and talk shit on his behalf.
That could backfire badly.
They're subject to it because it's unconstitutional. All of it. All of it.
So you're leaving it up to the people.
All of it is unconstitutional, and that's the fucking issue that I got. Look, if Trump is a criminal, throw him in jail. But the others gotta go too. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. It's my issue. It's always been my issue.
One rule for the ruled, one rule for the rulers.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it's always been. Since time immemorial. Since the Greeks first started building shit out of stone.
Yeah.
Since the Egyptians first started stacking rocks.
Those were aliens
Whatever.
with gravity-defying technology.
Since the Mesopotamians first looked at the stars.
I don't see
The
aliens too.
Mesoamericans. Whatever.
Mesoamericans.
Yeah. Meso.
Since
Oh,
that
Latin for
guy ran out of stone during the freaking calendar, making the calendar.
Yeah. Just,
It was like, oh, I'll just end it in 2012. That should be
why not?
plenty.
That should be.
So that should be plenty. Oh my God, the world's ending. It's like
No, just ran out of space.
No, just ran out of fucking rocks, man. Like, oh, look at this monolith we found laying on its side. Yeah, they fucking built a monolith. It was like, how the fuck are we gonna stand it up?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
fuck, we just leave it landing there. Fuck, just leave it laying.
They got attacked right in the
It's
middle
like,
of
fuck,
shit.
yeah, or some
Yeah.
shit. I don't know. Yeah, fucking aliens. Yeah, come on, man. This.
It's always been like that, though. There's always been one rule for the ruled, and another rule for the rulers.
The thing is that there was a time. There was a time when none of that mattered.
When?
Back when we were just making money and going to work, and we didn't know shit about politics because we didn't need to.
Maybe when we were in the Army, both of us.
Possibly.
Because that's the time you're talking about. The time that I didn't know dick about politics, I was in the Army.
Yeah, but we just went to work and fucking came home without a care in the world. You know, fucking went overseas, killed a bunch of Hajis. You know,
so what you're saying is ignorance is bliss?
Absolutely.
Thanks for saying 1,000-year-old fucking...
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ignorance is bliss. Dude, I talk to people all the time. They have no idea. They have no idea about the inner workings of all of this nonsense.
Well, to be perfectly honest, neither do we.
I mean, dude,
we don't have
inner workings, but we have a marginal understanding.
We have a marginal understanding.
We have a marginal understanding at
how
best.
things work and who's
The thing is that I've been part of the cogs in the executive branch for, but it don't matter. I know more than what I let on, but it's neither here or there. The thing is that I don't know, man. It's just a lot of people just don't they have no idea what this means. They have no idea what. I mean, this has ramifications, and there's a ripple effect to this that could freaking. I mean, this whole thing could shake our country to its very core. It definitely puts into should. Will it?
Won't.
Probably not. I don't know.
And that's my opinion. Strictly, that is my opinion. Should. It should. It won't. That money that got donated to Trump's thing right after his conviction.
That's a waste.
But it speaks volumes to what people
It speaks volumes, but it's
thinking.
wasting money. In my opinion, you're just wasting money. It says, I mean, they do not want this guy up there, and they're gonna do everything and anything to freaking to make sure that this dude doesn't. That's why they're not worried about whether Biden campaigns or not. Not worried about him. He's not. He's a proxy of the establishment. It don't matter. He doesn't matter.
I was reading the other day. I wish I could find the story again. There was a politician, a congressman. I forget where he's from. He's a Republican congressman. I remember that much. But he got fined by the IRS for not reporting $200 million in investment profits, so capital gains. So the capital gains tax is somewhere around 25%. So $200 million, 25% of that, he'd owe about $50 million, right? You know what his fine was? $200. $200 million in capital gains. He gets fined $200. I'd be in prison for 15 years. He gets fined $200.
They put Wesley Snipes in jail for 7 years.
Mm-hmm. Tax evasion.
Al Capone died in jail.
Tax evasion.
Syphilis.
Died of syphilis, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if they don't want you, you know, it's...
yeah, they'll get you somehow. But I mean, Al Capone needed to be gotten rid of. He was a piece of shit anyway.
He's a syphilitic moron. You know,
well, he's a very violent
yeah.
and insane syphilitic moron. Well, probably insane because of the syphilis. Fuck knows when he caught it, so...
He's a moron before the syphilis.
Yeah.
So...
There are plenty of people, plenty of stories out there about people getting accused of sexual
I mean,
stuff.
fucking Michael Cohen.
Who?
Michael Cohen.
What's that? Don't look at me like that.
I'm not.
Well, how are you looking at me?
He's the lawyer. He's the attorney, the former attorney for Donald Trump. He ended up, during the course of this trial, admitting to stealing $30,000
I heard about that. I didn't
from
look
the
into
campaign.
that, though.
He's the guy that posted the payment to fucking Stormy Daniels.
Oh.
That dude.
So
And
how the fuck is this Trump's crime?
This is his fucking fuck up. He's the one that did that. He's the one that suggested from what accounts to do. He's the one that did all this shit. As a matter of fact, his testimony was damning to the case. Like, the transcripts, when you go through the transcripts, you're like, oh my God, he sank the case. Like, he sank the case because it was all on him. Not to mention that, did he claim his taxes on them 30 grand that he stole? Because he claimed he stole money because he deserved a bonus. So he took money for him. He ain't
Grand
facing
larceny.
he ain't facing no larceny charges. None. None. Under oath.
So under oath, he testified that.
Not to mention that he's lied under oath before
No.
on previous stuff and got
Was he convicted?
no.
Well then.
They
But I
don't,
mean,
they don't care.
so he testified under oath that he was guilty of the things that Trump was accused of, and Trump was still convicted.
Yeah.
So it's a farce trial.
The whole thing is.
At the bare minimum, that should have been declared a mistrial.
My thing is another thing is that the judge decided to waive the hung jury clause. So if there's a holdout, all they needed was majority, like a civil trial. So even if if one juror held out,
Yeah.
it didn't matter because they were just going to replace him with somebody else because the alternates were also.
It's a felony trial.
It's fucking horrible. The whole thing, when you read into it, you're like all the little missteps and all the little things that they did.
That's the thing, I don't know how
Like-
it works in New York. I have no
Like,
idea.
it works however the fuck they want it to work.
Sure enough.
Because